Hello, and welcome to the Frivolous and Frugal Knitting Podcast. We are two sisters who share our fondness for knitting, the things that we create, or as this week could be, attempting to create, and our love for the knitting community. And we do it all with a little twist of both the frivolous and the frugal. I am Frivolous Dawn, and in our family's birth order, I am the fourth of 8 children.
Hello, and I am Frugal Miss Penny. I am the oldest in our birth order, and we are so glad you are with us for episode 77. We also have 2 other members, really lifelines in our group, and that is our dear sister Nikki, faithful Nikki. She is our statistician and our actuarialist and our philosopher, and she is 3rd in the birth order. And our niece, who is fearless, Miss Brianna, is the daughter of number 7. So thanks so much for being with us. A hearty shout out to all of you returning viewers. It just tickles us that you come back again and again. And as always, we hope you have a nugget or 2 that you can take from our journey. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we're so glad you found us. If it was recommended to you by someone, please let us know in the comments, because we want to pass along our thanks to those who are sharing. And we're hoping that you glean a lesson or 2 from what we're learning. So without further ado, Dawn, please remind us to grab our knitting, our favorite note-taking device, and our sense of humor for episode 77 of Frivolous and Frugal. Take it away.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say your favorite note-taking device. People just love that.
Okay, oh, do they?
They do, yeah. And I love it to think that Nikki and Brianna are our lifelines.
They really are, aren't they?
Well, that's a keeper. Okay.
That would mean I would have to remember it. Okay, so don't put too much expectations upon me.
Well, in a total squirrel, I was looking at you. Your skin looks flawless. Stop it. What are you doing? It does. Your little dimple thing. Stop. I just want that.
It is not flawless. It's because my camera is 17 feet back.
I would say it's because we Photoshop, but we don't know how.
No, we don't have well, you know how to put in captions. That's the extent of our technological abilities here.
All right, well, let me share with you what I am wearing. This is, I knit this about a year ago. It's called Riflet. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and the designer is Elsebeth Judith. The yarn I used was Berroco Catena. I think that's how you would pronounce it. It's in the quartz colorway, and I used a US 10. So I literally followed the pattern. I don't know why I like to wear stuff. Well, I love cowls. I also love the Dickie. See, so I'm kind of doing that throwback thing.
Well, wait a minute, Dawn. There may be some younger viewers who have no idea what a Dickie is. So would you please tell us what a Dickie is?
I would, I would say it's a fake turtleneck. So
yeah.
It has a turtleneck collar with just a little, like you see here was it the 70s that we wore them? Early 80s?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
70s, yeah.
I would guess, yeah.
But we'd wear them underneath like a sweater, so you didn't have the full turtleneck on. Arne and Carlos just have a few too that I may have purchased recently. I don't know why I just like to throw this on the top of something. You could put it on the top and then put your coat over it so you get the appearance you're wearing a sweater when you're not. But also it's nice, easy on, easy off for hot flashes. So it is a paid for pattern. I have to chuckle. It's in Danish. And so it says like $25 DKK or whatever the Danish, it's like $4 US. There's just something about the 25 that makes me laugh. Okay, 2 for the pattern and 2 for the yarn. The yarn had been in my stash, and I still have another skein of it. It's in the same color, so I doubt I would make another one of these. But I could see maybe a couple of these just to have. I just like, again, the quick things to throw over. And in my little tribute to Valentine's Day, my cute little mannequin is wearing one of my favorite shawls of all times that I've knit. That is Festival of Stitches by Lisa Hans. It is all in the Baah yarn, La Jolla base. the red is chocolate covered cherries, the white is La Perla, and the black is black pearl. That color combination and the long wrap with the different stitch patterns. And then I love this geometric splash in there. So she's a brilliant designer. I'd love to try her. She does a mystery knit along every year. And I've never, this was one of those from a few years ago. But that I followed the pattern as well. That was, I didn't write on here the yarn or the needle I used. For some reason, I'm thinking probably like a 6. I would call the pattern a 2 for the frugalometer, and the Baah yarn, I would probably call it 3 hedging 4. So
Beautiful, stunning. I think it's probably one of my favorite shawls that you've knit.
Oh, me too. And I think it's that, you know, how we talk about the perfect yarn, perfect pattern, perfect texture, that hit the trifecta. It's supposed to have a big pom-pom that hangs from here, or a tassel, but I think I made it and never attached it, or I can't remember. So what are you wearing?
What am I wearing? I am wearing the knit along that Miss Brianna and I did. It is called Audrey's Cardigan by Elizabeth Smith. I knit it in Berroco Ultra Wool Chunky in the Stonewashed colorway. And I would, it was on size 9s and 10s.
Oh, wow.
And well, chunky.
Yeah.
I think that's why. And on the frugalometer, I gave the pattern a $2 sign and the yarn a $4 sign. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. And Opal is sporting some of my FOs because I was sure if I had them on the table, they'd be rolling all over the living room and I'd be on my hands and knees for most of the podcast. So these are my finished balls up ornaments for 2021. And I knit one for each family. So we have 5 children. So each family got one, and then Mike, and we've done the family ornaments for years. And then I made stamps. It is just a stamp kit, a hand stamp that says 2021 with a little heart on it, and did an I-cord loop so it can be hung from the tree. It is stuffed, if you will, with a 4-inch smooth styrofoam ball. And thank you to all of you who gave me suggestions on YouTube. What I originally did, if you recall, is I knit the first one using the exact same needle size and instructions that the designer wrote for fingering weight, and it made a very puckery ball. And what it did is it wouldn't fit on my smaller balls, and it looked very frumpy, so I didn't know what to do. So what I did, because this yarn is smart yarn, it is a superwash wool that I had in stash, I went up a needle size on a size 6, made a very nice ball that I'm very pleased with, slipped easily over the styrofoam ball. And I was able to knit it up without any problems once I got it in the ball. And yeah, on the frugalometer, definitely a single dollar sign for both the fiber and the pattern. The pattern is free on Ravelry, and it was one of our monthly ornaments during 2021. And can I just jump in here real quick then, Dawn, since I'm talking about ornaments?
Yeah.
These are the ornaments that I made from the scraps of the sweaters I knit for my granddaughters. These are knit using the exact same measurements and cast on as the pattern asked for. I could not get them up over the acrylic balls that I wanted to use as an insert. So following the suggestions of our viewers, I stuffed them with polyfill, and you'll see that they too have a hand stamped tag that says 2021 with a heart. And so now all 3 girls will remember which sweater I knit for them during 2021.
I think that stamp on there is brilliant too.
I tell you what, I really like it, and they are not perfect, and I really didn't care because I thought, you know what? I am not going to spend my time trying to perfect this hand stamp because you have a hammer and all these little stamps. I'm only going to do it once a year. And if I wanted it to be perfect, they'd have to have tags about this big. Because, so I have plenty of room. And I'm not going to put a tag that big.
No. Give the job to your husband.
Well, there you go. I could do that. So anyway, what's on your needles?
Okay, I'm working on the Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. This is for my husband. Got a little farther than last time. Now, I do this when I'm on the exercise bike. I might not have been on every day these last few weeks, but otherwise this should be done. So this is yarn. It is, I'm going to read it. So I always goof it up. Blue Moon Fiber Arts Socks That Rock Lightweight. So they're fingering weight. The color is Night Rider. And you can see every once in a while it does this weird pooling thing. I'm not a fan of pooling, but it's a hat. Here's my problem, and I'm going to need some help. I'm at 18 inches right now. I need to go to 22 inches before I start the decrease. So I have 4 more inches of just knitting in the round, and then I have about a 3.5 inch decrease. That's all the yarn I have left. I'm not going to make it. So, you know, I don't like yarn chicken. So I decided I'll just buy another skein. They don't make this colorway anymore. Nobody on Ravelry had it for a D-stash. I checked eBay, you know, I went all over. I can order it directly from Blue Moon. They'll do a die to order. $28 for the skein, $10 for shipping. I'm not going to do it to finish off a hat. Right?
Bravo, you frivolous woman.
You know how this hat works. It slips inside. So I have this in stash. So don't you think on the inside of the hat, which would be on the top of my husband's bald head, that a little yarn with some cashmere would be?
I'm thinking his scalp would enjoy that. Yes.
Now, in hindsight, it'd be fun to do it half and half so that you could have, you know, the brim of the hat could be different than. But this is Road to China Light by the Fibre Company. I think they call this a DK, but this is a heavy fingering. So, yeah. So I really thought I'd have plenty of yarn. I could be wrong, but that does not look like enough for 7 more inches. So
no. But I like your idea. And that's exactly what I would do if it's on the inside.
Yeah.
Why not?
As I was looking in projects on Ravelry, people were doing them in team colors. So I think how fun would that be? And then I was thinking about like Nikki for the Bears or, you know, Austin for Hogwarts. And yeah, not that I want to do oodles and more Musselburghs, but I can see it's one of those projects I just have on the needle. That is on a US 3. Now that pattern is very well written in the sense that you pick the yarn and the needle size you want. When you find your gauge, it tells you how to go on from there. I did call the pattern a 3 though for the $, and the yarn a 3 as well. That yarn, that had to be pre-pandemic, right? That we were at Simply Sock.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's how old that yarn is. And Steve picked it out. He liked it. So
yep, I would say pre-pandemic.
He's wearing my Jason's cashmere hat right now that I knit. And it was knit with cashmere. A little bit of cashmere anyway. And it's like, he now knows what that's like.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And no one to blame but you.
That's right. Now he'll still think this is as soft because what'll be next to his bald head will be the cashmere. So that's what I'm knitting on while we podcast. What are you knitting on?
I am still monogamous. And so the only thing I did, I took a small break just to finish these ornaments, but I am working on the Kevin Costner sweater, as we lovingly call it at our house. It is called the Inishmeane. Very nice pullover. What, if you don't mind, Dawn, I would like to share, this is part of what I'm learning. This construction for the sweater, and I'm not giving away any secrets, is with saddle shoulders. So I had to measure my son over Christmas because the shoulders are very fitted. So I wanted to make sure he's broad shouldered and muscular. I wanted to make sure they fit. And the way the sweater is designed, it has mirror image cables on each of the sleeves. So this is one of the cables, and it's not an intuitive cable at all. So I have to read the chart all the time. But here's the way this saddle shoulder works. You first knit the entire sleeve. Okay, so now there you can see the cable.
Yeah, you can. I'll hold it right there. That's very good.
Yeah, not intuitive at all, not symmetrical, not
Nice.
like what we're used to on that blanket. So you knit the entire sleeve, and then I don't want to lose these stitches. You have to attach it to the front and back of the sweater. So the cable pattern continues.
Oh.
But you are attaching it to the front and the back of the sweater. See that?
Yeah.
And I will go back and I will attach the sleeves.
Wow.
I wrestled with this one day for over an hour and a half because I could not find a comfortable way to hold a full-bodied sweater with a full-bodied sleeve and try to connect the two. Because if you were sewing, you could just line it up, pick up those stitches and attach it. Since this is a cuff up saddle sleeve, you have a lot of bulk that you have to wrestle with. And so I finally went to the dining room table. I went and got 2 clothespins because I don't have any of those big quilt clips. I clothespinned the sleeves up and I set the sweater down, put my live stitches from the front and the back on straights.
Wow.
Which was the key for me. I needed them on straights because you're constantly turning. You are not knitting in the round anymore. You're knitting flat.
Wow.
And yes, so I do believe saddle shoulders are much easier top down, neck down, because you're not wrestling with all of the extra fabric.
Yeah.
So I have completed both of them are attached now, and I'm just working on the neck. And the neck is going to continue the cables over a folded neck. Yeah. And I was chuckling with Dawn before we started. They're mirror image. So the symbols are opposite based on the sleeve you're knitting. So if you all see me mute, it's because I'm talking myself through. Am I on the left or am I on the right? And is this a purl or is this a knit? Even the cable stitches are inversed.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it is actually the Inishmeane sweater by Rachel C. Brown. I'm knitting it in the Fibre Company's Arranmore in the Glevenbaugh Castle colorway. And I am knitting on sizes 8 and 9 on the frugalometer. The pattern, I will say, if you're a new knitter, you might want to get some help with this pattern. Just because I think some of the nuances are not mentioned. So you might want to get some help. I did look at some project notes just to be sure, and people mentioned that as well. And then on the fiber, definitely 5 on my frugalometer.
That is stunning yarn, just the way you held it up and you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I am so glad I made a mistake the first time I ordered it. Do you remember I ordered Arranmore light? Somebody has enough yarn for a sweater.
Uh-oh.
So,
would that work for our next sweater?
Dawn, I don't know if I'm going to keep up with you ladies on the sweaters. I've got to work toward Christmas. I'd like to have everything done by Christmas. And we'll shock everyone and become an expectation, but just once. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a new shawl on the needles.
Ooh, let's see.
Bring the book down. It's from the Rowan book, Rowan magazine number 70. And so let's see if I can show it to you. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, I've got needle stitches off the needles. Come on. Ooh. All right. It is 100% mohair.
Oh, Dawn.
So it just is going to be an asymmetric. So it's all garter. So holding 2 strands of each color. So I have to chuckle. Look at this. I am managing 4 skeins of mohair. I have to be at the kitchen table, green on one side, gray on the other, and trying not to get it. And then of course with the mohair, you've got all those little things
Yeah.
floating in the air. You guys, it is unbelievable what holding 2 skeins of mohair. It is much more solid, not solid, but much more firm than I thought it would be.
Really?
Now, I don't know. Let's see. I just made a copy of the page in the book, so I didn't have to carry the big book. I'll see if I can show you. That's a horrible. So I've started over here. So I'm literally doing it in these colors. It's going to be a shop model for Silver Thimble in Green Bay. So I'm using Rowan Kids Silk Haze. The colors are Eve Green, Aura, and Anthracite. And it is on a US 6. It is going to be all mohair. Wow. And so far, these, obviously the rows are short, so they're going pretty good, but they're just going to keep getting longer. So I would never have guessed these to be the color by looking at the pictures in the book. I would have, yeah. So there's a darker gray coming. It looked navy to me in the picture.
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh, it's got an interesting smell. Anyway, okay, Rowan. I love Rowan, but you know what? The only way to get the pattern, the only way to get it is to buy the book. Now, if you're going to knit lots of things in that book, it's well worth it. But to get it for one shawl, because I don't know off the top of my head, I think they're over $30 for the magazine, and it's yeah
issue.
Yes, and it's a nice tabletop, amazing pictures. You know, me being frivolous, even that's a little. All right, so then do I dare say I needed 9 skeins of mohair. So cha-ching, I'm gonna go, boy, I might even have to go 5 on both of them for the frugalometer. That is spectacular. Now, I just ordered some Knit Picks mohair for another project. I'll do a comparison when I get.
Oh,
yeah.
Do that, because I'm sure some of us out there have to be very conservative when it comes to buying our.
Look at that. I just love that little halo. All right. I don't know why I need a right side marker. Obviously it looks different than the wrong side, but a very simple increasing line, as you can see. All right. So that is, it's called the Asymmetric Shawl by Georgia Farrell. She's one of the designers for Rowan. Very delightful. I saw an interview with her. She's like 20.
Oh, really?
22. Yeah. Brilliant. She does a lot of their designs. So that is a lot of yarn management with all of that mohair. And you know how I wear black all the time?
Mm-hmm.
I leave there looking like, you know, the abominable snowman or whatever.
Right. Because of all the fuzz.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So since you're monogamous, I'll just keep right on going.
Please.
Okay. So let's see if I can bring my friend over who's wearing my sweater.
Look at you.
This is First Raglan by Jared Flood. We're taking the class. I'm taking the 4 to 12 class with a Darn Knit Anyway. It's an online. So the body is done. Thank you for all the help people gave me. Let's see if I can show you. I did a little bit of waist shaping. So I came in a little bit for the waist and then I went out for the hips. But there's the pity. I started the ribbing.
Yes, you did.
I've taken your suggestion and I'm doing the split. So I need 2 1/4 inches of both. I'm going to keep them on the needles when I'm done, just to see if in the end I like that. So, and then
how much negative ease does that have? Is that a 1 by 1?
It's a 1x1 and I kept the same size of needle. I didn't go down because I didn't want it to pull in, but I also don't want it to flare. The other thing I realized in the sweaters that I wear that I like, they don't have ribbing at the bottom. They just have a turned hem. So when it's done, if I don't like the ribbing, I can just pull back and do a turned hem.
Did you put a lifeline in?
I did not. Yeah, I should have, and I've totally forgot about it. I just started this sleeve over here. So, and I'm doing the blousey sleeves. So
oh yeah,
it started. Berroco yarn. I thought it was DK, but it's not. It's worsted.
Oh,
it's going to be warm.
So Dawn, you can retrofit a lifeline.
Yeah, and
just above your rib.
Exactly. And if I have to pull out, that's an easy mark to hit. So, I hope maybe to have it done by the next podcast. But like I said last time, I'm not used to all of this stockinette. And now it is that's a lot of movement of that sweater. Every time you have to turn it. And then when you're doing those sleeves, that's just a lot of manipulation. So like watching the Olympics or something like that, that's fine. I will probably put all the markers in again as I decrease sleeves to make sure. And besides, when I see people knit sweaters, I think it looks so cool that they have all those markers on there. So even if my markers are in the wrong place, they will look nice. So,
well, absolutely.
So that is knit on a 5 and a 7. I ended up going to an 8 though for the sleeve because I went to small circular needles and it was obvious my tension was different on that compared to the body. And I would call the pattern a 1 on the frugalometer, and I would call the yarn 2. Again, that is Berroco vintage, and I use the Storm colorway, which is a dark gray. Somebody asked me if I've fallen in love with knitting sweaters. Not yet. I'm not opposed to them yet, but I think I need to see it done and I need to see that it fits before. Now I have signed up to take a ranunculus class. So I guess I'm knitting another sweater.
Yep, you're coming over to the light side. Because Dawn, you have the skills. You're a very good knitter.
I think all along, my thought is I wear my shawls every single day. I wear them all the time. Will I wear a pullover worsted weight sweater? Gosh, not when I'm in the hot flash time of my life. So now you're just comparing time versus wearability.
Yes.
So I look forward to doing a cardigan like you're wearing because I see that much more practical in my lifestyle is to, on and off. So
right.
Now I just have a couple of other little projects on the needles as I tip over.
We'll wait for you to get back up.
You guys, I love this book. It's another Rowan. It's 6 different beanies are in here.
Oh,
I can't remember what how much this one cost. I think I would like to knit all 6 actually. But let me show you this one. I've knit it before. It's called Josie.
Oh, that's cute.
And you see the cables? Hard to see there. Maybe this is a little bit better.
Yeah. No, actually, I think your other picture was better.
Now, I did it in the yarn, the first time in the yarn they recommended, but it was a yarn that had no memory. So I didn't think the cables looked crisp. I also didn't think that the ribbing held nice to your head. It was very loose. Now, if you like a loose hat, it's perfect, but in Wisconsin in the wind. So I literally am just doing it again. But I'm using alpaca, Rowan soft alpaca DK and it's Blossom, which is a really light pink. Now I'd made some notes the first time I did it. I wanted a longer brim. And I'm going to make this longer too. But yeah, it's just the same cable repeat. I'm doing it without a cable needle.
You are.
It's the exact same cable, the entire hat. So I can kind of get into the flow a little bit better. And then I, of course, will flip that brim.
Oh, how cute.
I think this will fit me a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be fun. When I get this done, maybe I can get the other one back from the shop and do a comparison on just how yarn choice is different. So as far as details on that, again, it's called Josie. It's in the Beanie book by Rowan. Alpaca, Rowan alpaca soft decay in the blossom colorway on a US 5. That's the other thing I put in my notes to drop down in needle size. So that seems to help, at least for my gauge. The pattern I would call 3 on the frugalometer. And again, it's Rowan yarn. I'd probably call that a 3. I am not going to get away with one skein on this one. So that may be a difference too. I have about 7 grams left. So I'm going to have to go into the second ball. And they're 50-gram balls. So.
Ooh, I like the stitch definition better.
And I think that if I could only knit with one yarn right now, it would be that alpaca soft decay. It's nice and round, great stitch definition. It's, gosh, I just love it. And it comes in some fun colors. All right, now the next one, or the last one for today, is a cowl by Isabel Kramer. And here's where I might need some help with pronunciation because it's French. La Vie Belle, I think, is when I Googled it. It's a cowl. She's wearing 2 of these cowls right now. It's a paid for pattern. And again, it's a shop model. So it was published in 2018, but the reason it's gotten a little bit of talk recently is Skissel, who makes haiku yarns, did it using this yarn. Simplicity spray. And let me show you, it comes in a 200-gram cake. And you'll see how it's a very slow gradient. They have it in lots of different colors. We use this. I use this one, Penny, when I did the last Knit Pearl Hunter shawl before she retired.
Oh, okay.
So it is a DK weight. It is pretty plush. It is 55% superwash merino, 28 acrylic, 17 nylon. This is the chambray colorway. And I literally have just got a couple of repeats, but this should make a nice cowl.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I get the right side. I can show you that lace pattern up a little closer. So it's just, this whole thing is just garter and lace, garter and lace, garter and lace. I think it looks very similar to her pattern, Paris to Yours. I did look up what that word means in French too, and it means life is beautiful. So it's a very common French term. Now you can see that my yarn isn't gradiating much at all right now. If the pattern is correct, I need this entire ball. So how nice to just use it until it is done, and then it will connect.
Absolutely.
There's some nice, I have to chuckle. She gets together with friends every year and they do a pattern. And this was the pattern they did for.
Oh, how fun.
And they met in Dieppe, France. So that's why the word Dieppe is in parentheses on the pattern. Again, it's a paid for pattern. DK weight, 200 grams. Let me get you the rest of the details. It's on a US 6. I'm following the pattern as written. Why is it that the easier patterns, I make more mistakes? How can I goof up a simple lace? Yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together.
What would you tell your students? Because it doesn't, it's the attention.
Yeah, it is attention to detail. Focus. Okay.
That's right. You just get in the groove.
And 2 on the frugalometer for the pattern, 3 for the yarn. Gosh, I like that simplicity spray. Okay, I just had a squirrel moment. I heard a frugal tip that you were just going to go crazy over.
What's that?
Do you remember our childhood and bobby pins?
Oh, yes, I have some.
Oh, my mom put pin curls in our hair and we'd have to go to bed. And I'm pretty sure I have brain damage from those. Okay.
I know we have scars.
So this may be well known, but Miss Carol from New Jersey was telling me about this on a Zoom. You know how when you have to cast on a lot of stitches and then you join in the round and they tell you, be careful not to twist your yarn. Like every, 10, 15 stitches, she puts in a bobby pin that holds that project down so that when you go to knit in the round, it's not twisted.
That
I
is
said,
brilliant, Miss
I
Carol.
can't-
I've never heard of it
I was
before.
like, that is a Miss Penny.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. And when I taught a different call class last week, I gave everybody bread closures.
Did you?
And
Oh,
somebody
Dawn.
said they're not bejeweled. So bust.
Oh,
Yes. So
well, you know what? We can hook up some ladies at Silver Thimble with some bejeweled bread closures. Yeah. And we do hand them out at our mini meetups.
yes,
Yeah.
whether you want them or not, they're yours. So that is what's on my needles. So you know what else I have on my needles are all my monthly projects. So the Celtic quilt, I'm working on the February square. And also I started the building blocks class at Silver Thimble. That's a 12-month class where I do a square a week. That's the one I'm teaching myself to knit continental. And so it is slow going for me, but so far I don't mind the process. So I don't know if I'll ever become a continental knitter, but I think it will help with my two-hand color work when that time comes.
Absolutely.
And those ladies are just delightful to be around. So, all right, what's off your needles?
All my ornaments. And that pattern is a simple pattern. It's called Balls Up by General Hogbuffer, and it is free on Ravelry. So it earned a single $sign for the pattern. All of my yarn was leftovers. And so that's what I used. But could I just show one thing very quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure you all don't remember what I knit, but I did the crocus cardigan baby sweater, and I just finally got it blocked. And so I just wanted to show you how cute it was.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yep, that's it.
Those are perfect buttons for that.
Again, they came out of stash. I think I've probably carried those through all of our 23 moves. I'm sure I bought them probably in the 70s, but anyway. Yep. So that's it, Dawn. What's off your needles?
All right, stand by. It is yet, that sounds arrogant. It's brilliant. I use the word brilliant too much. I need a new word. Please, down in the notes, tell me another word I can use besides brilliant. And then Penny always tells me I use too many exclamation points. So should I use different emojis or something?
It's just the English teacher in me. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's not just you, Dawn.
It is done. Dustland.
You can use brilliant. You could use stupendous. You could use amazing. Any one of those. Oh, Dawn. Hold it right there. We can see all of that texture. Oh, sis, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I am telling you, the beauty was in the block. Yeah. Wow.
It's gorgeous.
I can't believe the texture you see now that I couldn't see when I was knitting it. So let me give you a few details about it. It is Dustland by Stephen West. It was our New Year's Day cast on this year. I use Plymouth yarn Davila in the red colorway on a US 6. Now I did try this shawl multiple times with different yarns and it wasn't working. The first time I tried it on a US 5, I didn't like it. So I went to a 6 and I'm happy with that. It is a crescent. It is 96 inches long. Oh my goodness.
And beautiful.
I was hoping we'd get some snow because this would be beautiful to take pictures against the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe I just said I want snow just for a picture and then it can go away?
It doesn't work that way.
Wow, I know. Oh gosh, I'd give the pattern a 2, the yarn a 2. This was stash. So let the record reflect. I use stash. I'll talk later about what I learned knitting this because I played yarn chicken. And I do not enjoy yarn chicken. So you guys, because I ran out of yarn, I am 1 repeat short. So there's an 8-row repeat missing. I don't know. You would not know that had I not told you.
Right.
Gosh, go to our Ravelry discussion board for this. The West Along, the My Dear Stephen West Along. the colors that people have picked. I really think you see the texture even better in the lighter color. So if there's something I learned too from this, is that when you have that much texture, I think a lighter color works a little bit better than the darkers. But oh, this is my red fix for a while. Wow.
It is beautiful.
I look forward to wearing that like 100 times. Okay.
As you should. And I'm sure you're going to get some really amazing feedback.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, no, I'm not undressing on purpose. Well, I am on purpose. All right, the cowl is done too, the Mallow Cowl.
Oh, you finished the mallow?
Look at that.
Oh, hold it. Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh gosh, it goes forever, Dawn.
It does. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I don't want to move that so fast that you get seasick, but I want to show you the back. Look how deep it is.
Oh, wow.
So all of this from here on up is above my shoulders. So even though it looks long, it's not going to wear that long. And then this will come to a V on your back, which I think is nice. Now I just use the mattress stitch.
Okay.
So it just lays so nice. Doesn't it?
Oh, look at that.
I will probably tuck that in a little bit. And again, I left out one 18-row repeat because I thought I had enough at the neck already. So
wow.
It does go down. Now you could put a tassel there.
Uh-huh.
But that tassel would be pointing to parts that I don't need any tassel pointing at. So yeah.
Look at that.
This is by Life is Cozy. All faux cables.
Wow.
This was a line by line pattern that I needed it absolutely quiet. It was super focused knitting for me. I did not follow the charts, but I just did the line by line. I like it. It looks so much better blocked than when you were knitting it.
Does it? Again, the magic is in the blocking. You've said that many times.
I think this was our Christmas Eve cast on, and I think everybody else has given up. So
really?
Yeah. Yep. Again, I think we started thinking it was way too long, not realizing how much is above the shoulder. But the details on this is I use Sublime yarn, baby cashmere merino silk DK. Why not? You guys, this is luscious. Really not my color, but I like it. I'm glad it's an ice, it's called aqua. To me, it looks like an ice blue. I followed the pattern as written on a US 5, with the one exception being I left out an 18-row repeat. Now, I thought that would be an easy thing to do, but that was happening at the same time as decreases. So I had to kind of flip back and forth to make sure it worked, because I wanted it to close right, you know?
Right. Oh, that is beautiful.
I like it.
Absolutely beautiful.
So 2 for the frugalometer on the pattern, 3 for the yarn. This yarn is still available. And this is the baby cashmerino light, or cashmerino, but they have just the plain old, the word baby not being in there. It's just the difference in colorways. The baby line's a little more pastel-y. So yeah. So that is the Mallow Cowl.
Beautiful.
Some really nice patterns. Life is Cozy. So I'd be tempted. And I did watch a podcaster who did this, who said, trust the block. It looks so much better after the block. So, oh, you know what else is right here? I'll just show it. That's my first block from
the Celtic.
Nope, this is Building Blocks by Michelle Hunter.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see that texture a little bit. I had to go down in needle size, so my continental knitting obviously is. Oh, and you know what? There's one more here. Geez, look at my new little head guy.
Oh, look at him.
He's a sunglass model.
For sunglasses?
Well, I bought it because he's got a 22-inch head, and I needed all the little styrofoam ones I have are too small. So.
And what is that hat, Dawn?
This is, did I even write? Yes, it is on the notes.
Oh,
It
it is?
It
Okay.
is Madison. It's out of that same Rowan beanie book. This is also in Rowan Alpaca Soft DK. And you'll see that it's just a very simple cable pattern. I'll pull it off the mannequin. So again, if I do it again, I would make this longer. I just like a bigger flip brim so it's warmer. I don't know. Very simple cable. I
Yes.
like the pom-pom. When you see the picture of this in the book, it looks absolutely pure white. This
Oh,
is the
wow.
exact yarn, exact colorway. It is not white. It is
No, it is not.
ecru. Would you call it ecru or ivory?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. So I was really expecting white. Now Rowan does make a white, but yeah. And then this is just one of my pom-poms from the Republic of Czech, which I may have ordered and it's on its way again. Because why not? Don't you need more pom-poms?
Are you asking your frugal sister that question? I'm assuming that's very rhetorical.
Okay. So okay, this is all the stuff that's around me. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I have to now. So I'm trying to use my scraps up, right? So I bought these patterns from Ravelry by Jody of the Grocery Girls. Hat vent.
Okay.
Now there's 2019, 2020, 2021. So these are just little hats that you make with your scraps of yarn. So DK or fingering held double. There's like the 2019. So last time I showed you that red and white toph hat. Look at the little hat.
Well, wait a minute. Are they ornaments?
Yeah. Now I made the pom-pom bigger than the hat.
Yes, you did. I'm trying to think, what is it? Is it a preemie hat? I don't even know what.
It's an ornament. So just I'll undo it because I can't believe how, and then that's all the yarn I have. So I have to, but look at that. The pom-pom.
No, you got to keep the pom-pom on. It's so you. Okay. No, keep it on there. Put it back on.
So here's another one I used. This was the extra yarn I had from B to the 3. Now, this is all the yarn I had. So I would like this to have been a little bit bigger. But the reason I say it is I bought mini pom-poms from the Republic of Czech. They're on their way because I think this needs a little pom-pom. But so it's one of the things I'm going to use with my scraps as I go this year is to, so I was able to use up all of the yarn from those 2 projects.
That's good.
All right. That really is all that is off my needles.
Are you sure?
Well, I think so as I look around. What a mess I've made. Wow.
All right. Well, while you're cleaning up your mess, I'm going to just go ahead and share what I've learned this week.
Sure.
And it's something we've heard. It is colloquial and it's been said, I'm sure, for generations. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And that's what I learned with my ornaments. Had to redo them several times, had to redo the shoulder. The saddle shoulders on the Kevin Costner sweater. So I'm just being reminded, learning is slow. It takes time. It's messy. And after all, it's only yarn. I can rip it out and redo it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a quick reminder.
Yeah.
Yep. What about you?
Well, a couple of things. Running out of yarn. So I remember sending you a text saying, I think I'm going to run out of yarn. And Stephen West's shawl that I did had an I-cord edge. So if it was going to be 96 inches long, I needed to try to estimate how much yarn I needed, not only for the final repeats, but how much yarn for that cast off or bind off. So I did some research and the number blew me away. To calculate the amount of yards or inches that you need for an I-cord bind off, knowing it was 96 inches long, you take that number and multiply it 13 to 15 times. Now they said the exact number was 12.6, but to err with a little extra, take that number by 12 to 15. I knew I did not have enough, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. So I get about a little more than a third of the way through. And you know how you're knitting and you pull up your yarn and you realize you're at the end? You know, I've got 60 inches to go and I'm out of yarn. So what's a girl to do? I'm not going to order more yarn. I'm sure I could have. I'm not doing it for that much. Now that's a change for me, right? Because I swore I bought enough yarn to start with. But when I first started that shawl and I tried it on a US 5 and I got through those first couple of sections, when I realized I didn't like it, I just cut the yarn and started over. I had that little piece left, 4.8 grams. And that was, I think I ended up with maybe 4 inches left. So, but why is it when I'm playing yarn chicken, I think if I knit faster, I'll solve the problem. I could feel my heart rate going up. I'm knitting crazy. And I just think it's that anticipation. Like we had said, are you gonna win or are you gonna lose? Oh, and again, in the past, I would have just ordered another skein of yarn, but trying to use my stash, that makes no sense to use 5 grams, even though they're only 50 gram skeins. It made no sense to order another whole skein for 5 grams. So
I agree.
yeah. So
Dawn, I just thought of this. Would you please define yarn chicken? I'm not sure all of our viewers know what yarn chicken is.
So, and help me if you can enhance this. So when you're getting ready to finish a project, you want to make sure you have enough yarn. So if you're going to be playing yarn chicken, that means you do not know if you're going to have enough yarn to complete the project. So you either win at yarn chicken, meaning you had enough yarn to finish the project, or you lose at yarn chicken. Now, for those of you mathematically inclined, you're like, Dawn, there is no reason to play yarn chicken. It's a mathematical equation. Well,
Okay.
I would have had to pay attention and Mr. What was his name? Mr.
Is it Becker?
Mr. Becker's
Barber.
Oh yeah, Clarence Barber. I would have had to pay attention in all of those classes. I'm sure I was daydreaming about when I was going to marry Sean Cassidy. So
I never, anyway, go ahead.
I even tried, sometimes I weigh the yarn left after each row, but you have to be consistent at that. So anyway, some people enjoy yarn chicken like Penny. I think I aged 15 years playing that yarn chicken. So yeah.
But I think personality just has so much to do with it. I'm a risk taker. And I really don't care about failing. If I have to rip it out and do it again, it's not a big deal to me. The greater challenge for me, to be honest, on is what you're doing with the Musselburgh. I want to problem solve. So here I am. I'm out of yarn. What can I do? To me, that ignites my brain. All my neurons are firing during that time. And I really like doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to turn around. I forgot we should say what the next shawl is coming up if anybody wants to join us.
Oh, please.
Okay, hold on. Look at that. I don't know how
That is pretty.
I don't know how you pronounce that.
I can't read it, Dawn.
Oh.
Would you spell it for me?
Yeah. EWEYYE.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, good.
I don't know the language of origin on that one.
Yeah. Anyway,
Mhm.
Olga Jazzy. It's all slip stitches, 100 inches long, 104, I think. We're going to start at March 1st. If anybody would like to join in, I'll start a Ravelry discussion on it. I got that.
Yeah.
I got that exact yarn. So.
Oh, you did? What's it going to be knit in?
Why do I think it's wool folk, wool stock, wool something?
Oh, okay.
Next time. I'm gonna not cast on until the day, I think. So
Wow.
if you
Very
want to
good.
join in, otherwise we have many things going on Ravelry that you can participate in, which I'm sure Penny's going to tell us about next. So
Well, I'm going to try to get all of them in. So if you're not interested in what's going on, this would be the time we would say, thank Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. But if you are interested, hang in there for just a couple of minutes. As always, we have giveaways and cows going on. We are not yet at our 3,000 subscribers, so no giveaway for that. Our YouTube giveaway, the next one we have, will be our next episode. So we need to pose a question for you to respond to in this episode. And so even though we used this in one of our virtual events, our question for your response and chance to be in our giveaway is this: what is your favorite feature in a project bag? So which feature is most important to you or that you really like? Put your comment in the comment section and we will draw and announce our winner next episode.
I can't wait.
Also, what's that?
I can't wait to see what people like about different project bags.
And just so you know, the zip top on the Ziploc bags is mine. I really like that little piece. Okay.
Who would have?
But they're a little more expensive, so I don't usually get those. I usually get the regulars. We also have the Finish, Fix, Flip, or Frogget Cowl. That is ongoing. As always, please look through all of the posts and the beautiful projects and actually ingenious solutions that people are sharing with us. We appreciate that, and we will make our next drawing for that during episode 80. And we are still doing our hat a month, and I don't believe I put down in my show notes what the February hat is. So I am going to just take a moment because I keep the document right here on my desktop. The hat that we will be doing for the month of February, as it opens up Word, is soon to be revealed. We will knit this hat if you want to join us. It is going to be the Flicker and Flame hat, and the link is in our show notes, so you'll be able to get to that. We will draw a winner from our January hat cowl entrance during episode 78. And we are no longer doing the ornament knit along, so that is finished, but we are still doing the My Dear Stephen West cowl. Any Stephen West pattern is eligible for our giveaway, and that person will be chosen again in episode 78 for the month of February. And the newest cowl, the Fab and Frugal cowl, is for those who use either a pattern they already have or the yarn they've already had to finish a project. And there are 2 threads for that, one for chatter, one for just posting. We will only pick the winner from the thread that has posts, and that February winner will be chosen during episode 78.
Oh, go there if you get a chance. It is amazing to see what people are doing with stash yarn and older patterns. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I have not been in there recently, but I just think it's inspiring for me to say, you know what, I have what I need. So let me find new ways to use it. So I appreciate those of you who are contributing to that. We still, I can't say we, Dawn still hosts a Tuesday evening Zoom for those who are interested in getting together to knit. It is from 6 to 8 Central Standard Time. That link is also posted in our threads in Ravelry. If you want to get to that and you're not in Ravelry, message Dawn and she'll be sure to send you the link. Our virtual knit togethers for the rest of the month of February and into March are as follows. On the 4th Saturday of February, which just happens to be the 26th, we will have our virtual knit together, and that is a daytime knit together from 10 to noon Central Standard Time. These times are a bit more structured than the Tuesday evening because we want to give everyone the opportunity to showcase what they're working on, to pose questions, and to get ideas. That is nothing but 2 hours of knit talk. That's it. We are talking knitting and fibers. So if that's something that you're interested in, the link is always posted about 1 hour before the event. And if you're not in Ravelry and you would like me to email you the link, just message me. Then in March, we will have our evening virtual knit night, and that is scheduled right now for March 12th from 7 to 9 Central Standard Time. Again, it is 2 hours of nothing but knitting and fiber talk, and choose your own level of participation unless Dawn asks you to contribute. But again, we'll open that link about an hour before the event starts in case you're having technical difficulties. And as always, I don't know, I shouldn't say as always, I just want to remind you that sometimes these events may need to be canceled. So we'll try to put up a message in Ravelry. If for some reason we have a family event that comes up that we weren't preparing for ahead of time, we will let you know. And another thread that we have currently in Ravelry is our mini meetup thread. And in that, our mini meetup is being planned in Chicago, actually Hoffman Estates, for the weekend of July 30th and 31st, 2022. That's where we're going to post things such as the reservation link, which I believe you already put up, didn't you, Dawn?
I haven't. I haven't put it up, so I'll put it up.
Okay. Well, we will as we get closer, because there are a few details that we still need to iron out. So I would suggest that you do this. If you have questions about the mini meetup, I would read through the posts first. It is very likely that those questions will be answered. If they're not answered, you're welcome to message us, but we just need to let you know that we don't have all of the details yet. And we'll just tell you up front right now, this is not a bougie or hoity-toity knitting retreat. It is nothing more than getting together to knit with other members of the knitting community. It isn't staged. There are not big swag bags, nothing like that. It is time just for community. So if you're looking for something a bit more bougie, I don't know, Dawn could probably point you in that area. I don't have any ideas. Okay. Because I don't do the bougie thing.
That's a fact.
All righty. Did I miss anything that you, oh yeah, the shawl. We don't have the shawl cowl that you guys are doing. I didn't put that down, Dawn. Okay, you've got, I don't know, this bi-monthly shawl thing you're doing.
I'll start one for that if you're interested. Yeah. That's the trouble with Tuesday nights. We have like our next year planned out, and then every month it changes.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that. I'll put that in the show notes.
Okay.
A couple of honorable mentions, I believe we have. Dawn, do you want to start off with those and then I'll add mine?
Well, I think yours is the only one.
Oh, you think, well, we have a huge shout out and thank you to Lacy Babe, Miss Peggy McFeeters. Darling, you just blessed us by sending us those row counters and even one to give. And so thank you for doing that. I know you don't sell them, so it was definitely a labor of love. And we look forward to giving that out. That'll be one of the giveaways at our mini meetup. And as we get closer, Dawn and I will show ours on the episode so people have a look at them, but we'll do that when it gets closer. So thank you so much for your thoughtfulness. We appreciate it very much. We very much
for Nikki so she can use it for golf scores.
I know.
Wow.
I know. One for each of us. So thank you so much, Miss Peggy. And we appreciate your faithfulness and your support and encouragement more than you know.
Absolutely.
All right. So I know you're all waiting. What would Nikki say? So that's how we're going to wrap up episode 77. This is what Nikki would say to us this week. Peaceful surroundings often bring fond memories back and a remember that life is pretty good, even at the rough spots.
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
That is very good, sis. And you have no idea. You know that I randomly choose these and it was very, very applicable for our week at our house. So thank you. I appreciate that. And we appreciate you. We're so grateful for your viewership, and we're hoping that your week will be a sweet twist of the frivolous and frugal. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you for episode 78. Bye-bye.
Bye.